The development and distribution of vaccines has resulted in dramatic improvements in global health over the past century. Supported by extensive research, including clinical trials, vaccines have helped prevent many deaths and illnesses from infectious diseases like smallpox, measles, and polio. Developing vaccines is an important step towards bringing bacteria and viruses that cause infection under control. But what exactly is a vaccine? Vaccines are a way of preventing people from getting sick if they become infected with a foreign body, like a bacteria or a virus. They are made up of a tiny, diluted amount of a foreign body, or something that looks like it. Vaccines work by showing a person's immune system parts of the foreign body. This trains the body's immune system to recognize and destroy the foreign body if a person gets infected, so they don't become sick or develop symptoms. All vaccines developed follow a similar format. To begin with, a potential vaccine is tested in a laboratory to see if it works. If these tests show it works, the potential vaccine is then tested in closely monitored clinical trials. First, the vaccine is tested in a small group of volunteers in what's called a Phase 1 clinical trial. Phase 1 trials are done to make sure the vaccine is safe to use in people. After this, the vaccine is tested in a Phase 2 clinical trial, which involves a larger group of volunteers. The aim of a Phase 2 clinical trial is to determine the best amount and how many doses of the vaccine to give, and to make sure it works the way it's supposed to in a larger group of people. Finally, a vaccine goes into a Phase 3 clinical trial. It's tested in a much bigger group of people, often thousands, to make sure it definitely works and that it will benefit everyone, not just some people. Once a vaccine has been shown to be safe and to work in a Phase 3 clinical trial, it gets approved for use and is made available to the public. Vaccines can protect entire populations from developing a disease, but they can only do this when enough people from all communities have been vaccinated. When this happens, the chances of an outbreak are greatly reduced because there are enough protected people, and the disease will eventually die out. Anyone who wants to volunteer to take part in a clinical trial must first meet a certain set of eligibility criteria. For example, they may need to be a certain age or have a certain health condition. By having these eligibility criteria, scientists testing the vaccine can make sure any results they see are because of the vaccine and nothing else. All clinical trials testing vaccines need to include volunteers from as many different communities as possible. This is so we can ensure that any vaccine developed works for as many people as possible, not just some. People can have concerns about taking part in a clinical trial. This is totally normal. One concern might be about how safe it is. While no clinical trial is entirely without risk, for the vast majority of trials there are very few risks to being involved. But to be safe and to manage any potential risks, clinical trials are always managed by healthcare professionals who are on hand to monitor and manage any side effects that might develop. You will also be told about any potential side effects before you commit to taking part in the trial. People can also be concerned about the security of any personal data collected as part of the trial and how this will be used and managed. But rest assured, there are strict rules on data collection, storage and confidentiality which all clinical trial teams must follow. So you can be guaranteed that if you take part in a clinical trial, your details will be kept secure. If you are interested in taking part in a clinical trial, there are two main ways to get involved. If you are currently being treated for a condition or are under the care of a medical team, you can speak to your doctor or a member of your healthcare team about studies you may be eligible for. If you aren't currently under the care of a medical team, you can still volunteer to be part of a clinical trial as a healthy participant. In the UK, people who want to take part in a clinical trial can also go to the NIH or Be Part of Research website. While you're taking part in the clinical trial, you may be asked to attend extra appointments or do some things at home, like keep a diary. You will be given all this information before you join the trial, so you know exactly what to expect if you choose to take part. If you do decide to take part in a clinical trial, you will be given information on how to travel to the clinical trial site if you need to, and what to do when you arrive. You will also be able to contact the research team directly while you're on the trial if you have any questions. It's important to know you can withdraw from a clinical trial at any time should you choose to. By signing up to take part in a clinical trial, you may benefit directly from new treatments or more contact with healthcare professionals. You will also play an important part in helping us learn about different diseases, how to treat them, and to make sure that new treatments developed work for everyone, now and for future generations.